Hello everyone and welcome to Regal Creative's Joomla 1.5 video tutorial. Today we're going to cover how to avoid duplicate content issues with Joomla's Core SEF, a couple concepts to preface it all, and then I'll show you some examples on how you will end up creating duplicate content issues and then how to avoid creating content issues. So basically the concept behind Joomla SEF Core is that it's not based on the section, category, article structure for your content, which is for 1.5. In terms of 1.6, 1.7, obviously they got rid of the sections and they now give you the ability to have unlimited nested categories. So in that case, it's based on the category, article structure, but Core SEF for Joomla does not work off of that. In fact, it actually works off of the menu structure that you have for your main menus, or any menu that actually you create within your Joomla website. Now, this is either a misconception or it's a little known fact, but regardless, this is how Joomla works. And so for Joomla website developers or for organizations who have a Joomla website, it's really important to realize that the process of avoiding duplicate content can easily be managed through creating the right type of menu items. So I'm going to quickly show you how we have our demo set up here so that way you know what we're working with, and then I'll go through one, again, how we can create duplicate content, and then two, how to resolve that duplicate content. Ultimately, it's going to be good for you if you're watching this for the first time and haven't created your site yet or are just starting out, so that way you know the right way to set it all up. If you're watching this video and you've already set up your Joomla website or have had one set up for you and you have duplicate content issues, then hopefully this video tutorial will help you learn how to go back and fix those issues so that way you don't have to worry about them in the future, at least to some degree. Now, just so you know, Joomla and any content management system for that matter, it's dynamic software, so you're going to have duplicate content issues no matter what. The processes that I'm going to show you will help manage those. So we have our back end here. Right now we're looking at the control panel. I'll show you the menus here. We have three set up currently: main menu, top right nav, and about menu. How that relates to the front end of our website, you see we have our main nav here, with a drop-down menu, history, and mission under the about. If I refresh this here, let's see, we actually do not have a top right nav currently, and that's for the reason that we have not created any menu item types in the top right nav menu. If we go to the about section of this website, whether we click on about, history, mission, it doesn't matter. You'll see that we have an internal menu set up, which is our about menu. This has about, history, and mission, which is a duplicate of these menu items here, about, history, and mission. However, you'll see shortly that the actual menu structure between the main nav with the drop-down here and the about menu with just the list items is very different. So if we go to the back end and let's go to our main menu, you'll see here that we have home, about, with the child items, history, and mission. These are the drop-down that you saw on the front end. And then if we also go to our about menu, you'll see we have about, history, mission. Now you can see between the main menu and this about menu, the difference between the two is that about is not a parent item anymore in the about menu of history, mission. They're not child items of about, but in the main menu they are. So for our purposes, when we set this site up for the demo, we actually conceived our information architecture to follow a specific URL structure. And basically that URL structure is that if we click on about, you receive, and we didn't do anything with the htaccess file in this case, but you receive the structure of index.php/about. If you click on history, it goes index.php/about/history. Same with mission, where index.php/about/mission. Now if we clicked on about down here, it should follow the same pathway. about should go to index.php/about, which it does. And if we click on history, it should follow the same pathway as history up here, which it does, /about/history. This is what we wanted. We set it up that way initially, and so we've avoided, right now, all duplicate content issues with creating multiple pathways to the same content, and you can see through the hierarchy of the menus that they are, in fact, different types of information architecture here. So basically, the reason why this works is because we've used the special menu item type to complete this process, and what we've realized over time in working with people and speaking with people and interacting in the Joomla forums is that people don't realize that the menu type that we've used to create this structure actually exists the way it does. And so what we found is that a lot of people actually create new menu item types. So for the example of our About menu that shows up in the About section, they would create the Abouts to a specific single menu type. And why don't we actually just delete these items here and recreate them as new articles, or new menu types to articles. So if we click on article, article layout, this is the process most people would take. And we go About, if I can type, there we go. Select the article, About, and save. And we go to New, Articles, Article Layout, History, select the History article, save, and create our last new item, Articles, Article Layout, Mission, Mission, and save. So if we go to our front end here and click on Home, and then re-click on About, you'll see that the menu looks the same, but the structure for About obviously is the same. History, though, is completely different, where it no longer follows the index.php/about/history structure that the drop-down menu does, but in fact actually follows the structure of the actual About menu. Since there is no hierarchy, it's a flat list, there's no parent-child items, it creates a completely separate pathway. This is the biggest issue with Joomla in duplicate content that I think people just don't realize, or it's a misconception of how it works. But this is what really will create your major duplicate content issues. So what we do to resolve that issue is actually change the item type from the article layout of the single article, so change type, or just create new and choose alias instead. Alias basically is telling Joomla that this new menu item or this menu item that we created and are now changing is actually a duplicate of another menu item. And so we want this item, even though the hierarchy of the menu might be different, to follow the pathway, the URL structure of that other menu item that we're duplicating. So for the case of About, regardless of the fact that technically the URL structure would be the same, it's just good practice to get into creating an alias to the About. So our main menu is the menu that we really want to follow the pathway and structure of. So we're going to create the alias menu item. Menu item goes to About underneath the main menu, and save. We're going to change history, change type to alias, select the item. History, you can see the drop-down structure here, the parent-child structure. So we're going to select history and save. Go to mission, change type, alias, select item, and mission. Again, it's part of the main menu drop-down item, and save. So now if we go back to our front end and we refresh, you'll see that click on About, again, it follows the same structure regardless, just because it's flat anyway. It's the parent, regardless of how we set it up. But if we click on history again, you can see it takes us back to the original structure that it's supposed to be. So index.php/about/history. If you're using htaccess, where it's set up to remove the index.php, it might just be whatever your domain is, .com/about/history. or /about/mission in this case. So it replicates the mission structure by clicking on this here, that's up here, and same if we clicked on history, it replicates the pathway for history. You can also see that the menu items in the drop-down show that they're activated as well. If we left it the way it was, where it was going to the single article, it's technically a separate pathway, so therefore these would not be active menu items. Because we set it to be an alias, it's saying that this is the actual default pathway, this is the page it's showing, and therefore it's going to activate that through the CSS or whatever else you do in your menu item. So that's effectively how you take care of your duplicate content issues within Joomla. So if we set up our top right nav with a menu item, let's say we wanted to go to history, again, following the same concept of going to a single article with the same concept as we used with the About menu, we'll select history here and save that, and we'll go to the front end and refresh. You'll see that we now have the menu item. Click on that. It now takes us again to the duplicate content of a different pathway where it's just /history as compared to the actual pathway of /about/history. So we want to make sure that we really utilize that alias appropriately, the way it should be utilized, and select history from the alias, refresh, and now history in the top is /about/history. So that's in effect how you take care of your duplicate content issues using different menu hierarchy and information architectures going to the same content. Now, I hope this article has been helpful to you, this video has been helpful to you. Obviously, the blog post is in relation to this video. If you have any questions about it, feel free to post those questions in the comments below. If you are looking at setting up a new website and you want content management capabilities, Joomla will probably be a great solution for you. However, it really is going to depend on the needs of what your site, what the needs of your site is, and so feel free to contact us through our contact form or request a quote through our request a quote form on our website to learn more about how we can help you at Regal Creative, help you out with setting up your website utilizing Joomla, or we also work with WordPress as well as Mojo Mortar and Expression Engine, which are two other open source content management systems that are very easy to use and easy to work with. So any questions, feel free to post them. We look forward to your feedback. If there's anything additional that you're looking for in terms of video tutorials or explanation on how Joomla works, feel free to post those as well. We're more than happy to help. Thanks a lot and have a great day.